going to start us off with a survey that is really focused on what you like to read, how you like to read it, what you don't like to read, what you think your strengths and weaknesses are in reading. So I will pass these out, and then I'll kind of walk us through each question so you understand exactly what is asking of you. There we go.
Thank you, Billy. Let's put our name on it.
Yes, start by obviously putting your name up the top, so I know who you are. Okay, so in my directions I say answer to the best of your ability using as much detail as possible, okay? I want you to really elaborate to me on these answers. That way I get a better understanding of what you do and don't like to read and so on and so forth.
Can we start?
So yeah, number 1. My favorite book of all time is blank, whatever your title is, because. Now, this can be a series. If you like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, if you like I Survived, that's fine. If you don't have a favorite book, just kind of let me know that as well. And I'll give you a minute to fill that in.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Just a second. Okay, second one. My favorite genre or type of book is, circle 1, science fiction, fantasy, realistic fiction, historical fiction, nonfiction, graphic novels, or other. So there's something else that comes to mind for you. Circle other and then tell me what it is and why.
What would the genre
You're mostly historical.
What's historical fiction?
So that's made up stories based on true historical
So
situations.
realistic fiction is it's not real, but it could happen.
Yeah.
It's like that George Washington cutting down the cherry tree thing.
That's just a myth. He didn't really do that.
Every kindergartner I know, like a couple kindergartners I know, they think that, and no matter how many times I try to tell them, true. What does that one line mean? That's all.
Like if I didn't give you that choice, whatever yours is.
What did you do?
So those of you who like the Who Was series, those are nonfiction. But if you like the Alan Gratz books, those are historical fiction.
Yeah, I like
they're not real people, but it's based on real situations.
I like the Alan. Yeah, because they happened, so it didn't happen to them exactly. Or they just get a picture of.
Or I Survived. It's historical fiction.
And it doesn't cover up the truth. I like that.
If you're not sure on any part, just say, I'm not sure.
Why? I like that author because they don't cover up the truth. They just tell you straightforward. Some people, they try to tell you in the least way possible. This tells you in Okay, can we move on?
Yes, we can move on. All right, number 4. If I had to choose, I would read, circle 1, a magazine, a novel, or a book, a comic book, nothing,
Okay.
or something else. If it's something else that you'd rather read, let me know what that is and why. Why would you choose this type of text over anything else?
That's what I was thinking. It's like wonder. It's just
Yep.
like this one. Or that one.
Novel is just regular old fiction.
Why would you choose to read this one?
If you like reading those, I'll have you circle.
Our
other.
I kind of like Harry Potter, but kind of.
If you prefer these, circle other and put not.
I kind of like. I feel like realistic fiction books. Like they're kind of even, but I kind of like Harry Potter more.
That's fine. Then you would pick novel.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Wait, hold on. Other people aren't there yet.
Wait, so if I pick novel, is it just like a realistic fiction book, or is that other?
Wait.
Realistic fiction would be a novel.
Okay.
And then for the why, you know, that's a person-to-person basis kind of thing. I mean, some people really like graphic novels and comics, and some people feel like they can't concentrate with the pictures. I mean,
Oh, I like pictures. Well, it depends on what book.
Yeah.
Like, because then sometimes it ruins like what you think the people will think.
I kind of feel that.
Some books
There's some really good ones. Okay, so this kind of printed off on two different sheets here. Number 6, you'll flip to the next one. This is just a yes or no question and then why. I enjoy when a teacher reads a novel to the class. Like, you enjoy how we're going to start out today, me reading to you.
But what if it's like a sometimes?
You can write sometimes out the side and then tell me why. Like, in what situation. And then, why.
We've been watching at number 8. Hang on.
People still working.
I'm not done yet.
Slow down.
So you can, yeah, answer that.
Oh.
I try to make it super easy where you just have to circle it.
I don't know, sir. I'd rather write it. Exactly.
All right, next one. So if instead of me reading to you tomorrow, I said, all right, pick a partner, read chapters 5 through 7 together. Would you like that? Yes or no, and why? And sometimes is fine. If you want to write sometimes out there, and then let me know in what situation would that work for you. That's fine.
I need a sharpen my pencil.
Okay, right up here.
Why
You get to do the top.
is that what's that shape?
You can twist it to where it fits crayons. Okay, next one. I enjoy reading novels independently. That means you are reading silently by yourself. Yes, no, and why? At this point, it's probably what you do the most.
I don't like reading out loud. That's because like if everybody reads out loud, it gets loud. That's what.
All right, 12. I enjoy reading aloud in class. So there's kind of two parts to this. You are going to have to read out loud, right? Like, you read this paragraph or this page, but then you also have to listen to your classmates read out loud, too. So think about that. Is that something you feel like you do well with, or something that you struggle with? Yes.
I just don't like coming up to the front reading.
Well, in here you'll stay.
Okay, well.
In here
I don't
you'll
mind
sit at
reading
your
out loud.
I will not make you do that.
Like so, I don't think it was.
You can say that. You can say that. All right. So now we're on to 14. And this is A, B, or C. You'll circle one. and this is kind of a personal question, so you don't need to say anything out loud about it, but I feel like I am a low reader. I struggle to understand what I'm reading about in school. B, an average reader. I feel like I understand books I read in school and keep up with the class, so you feel like you're kind of right where you need to be. Or C, a high reader. I can easily understand what is being read. Circle one of those. And then 15, down there at the bottom, do you enjoy reading? Is it something you would do for fun?
Mine, like, it depends if it's a good book.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
you can write about
there's
that.
a book I'm reading right now, and it's like, okay. Like, A Million Ways Home and Hero, I couldn't, like, stop reading.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, some of them are good, but I just don't like them.
You can just tell me it depends on the book. Some books I can't put down, some books I can't get myself to pick up. How it is sometimes.
Yeah, there's some books I'll never read. You can't even make me read them.
Okay. 16. What do you consider to be your biggest strength as a reader? And why? So what do you think you're really, really good at when it comes to being a reader? This is kind of a challenging question in a way. So
I don't know.
you might have to think about it for a second.
I don't have a comprehension.
Because I can read.
I can't think of anything. I just put reading
But how am I
pictures.
supposed to?
So you're good at reading like graphic novels?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. So
I'm
I'm
good
good
at
at
reading really fast.
like I'm good
Okay.
at
I would say that.
In my head.
oh, I'm good at reading
You're a fast reader.
how am I supposed to explain
Comprehension.
that?
It says because.
I'm good
I
at
know this
reading.
because. Yeah, it
You
says
get done
one.
faster than everybody else. I mean, it is what it is.
Realistic.
You know, if you think you're a fast reader, if your teacher assigns you
One thing I'm not good at
read
is not being
chapters 1 and 2, and you're done 20 minutes before everybody else, you know?
Sometimes I skip ahead sometimes because I just want to know what happens next. And what I would like I'm better at reading like bigger books than like small books. Like I know you can remember more from a small book, but I would prefer like a bigger book. There's a fast one because you can remember it.
All right,
It would be
17.
more handy and fast.
This one might be a little bit easier in a way. What do you consider to be your biggest weakness? So something that you feel like you struggle with in reading. Whatever it is fine. How do you know that?
I don't really know.
Oh, my pencil.
Not very good at. I have a pencil, but I don't know.
You're not sure? That's fine.
I'm just not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's not where exactly why I'm not good at reading.
Okay, so 18 and 19 are two different questions. So we got to approach them in two different ways. 18 says, what is your strongest subject? What you get the highest grades in, what you do the best in. 19, it might be the same class, but it might not be. What is your favorite? Okay, they are sometimes two different things. Yes, sir.
We put like PE or does it have to be like math?
No, you can put whatever you want. PE, art,
We don't
music. That's fine. That's not in your wheel this year?
Nope.
It was for last year. I know they had
We
it.
have it's not till like the what not the quarter but what semester. Yeah, we won't have her till next semester, which is 2 quarters away. 1 quarter. How many years is a semester? How many quarters are a semester?
2 quarters per 1 semester. So the end of first quarter was Friday. And then you have 1 more quarter and then the semester's over.
I don't know. You will have next.
I don't know you guys have next either. It won't be till January.
I think
So third quarter starts at the end, or when we come back from Christmas
how
break.
many points is Wonder? Plays one.
I'll look it up. 20. What has been your favorite activity in like English, CA, whatever you guys call it, Miss Carnahan like class in the past and why?
We did it.
Wait,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't give the paper to her and then I threw it away.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so hand those up to me when you are done.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Hold them up and I will grab them.
I didn't do one.
Last year.
I don't know what my favorite activity is.
I'm not sure.
Good class.
So in Miss Watson's, we made like it was kind of like a triangle, and we like stuck them together, and it made a big pyramid, and it was like
It was like
about the story. We read.
It was about the
I know.
No, it was about the It was what? It was about the what's it called? Setting. We put the setting on it. Okay. Yeah, the beginning, middle, and the end. When
What would you hear that day?
because of when
I like making pyramids. I feel like reading hatchet.
Remember when we did the bridges? Oh, that was so much fun. I think that was science.
Setting.
Wait, was that? It was after you in last year. Oh, the Tarantino. Oh yeah. But
Are we starting the book today? Should have.
Okay, so we are going to move on. I gave you those notebooks. Go ahead and get those out. Stand here. Well,
But that always happens.
get those out. We're going to start with a writing prompt.
And what's today's writing? It's like in Mr. Mills' classroom. We have a writing. We have to have a writing.
Yeah, but we also used to have a writing prompt in Miss Carnegie.
All right.
I have this one.
So today,
It's like
since we are starting Wonder, your prompt is think about your first day of school. This can be at a new school if you have ever gone somewhere else and moved here, or if you've always gone to school here. This could be like the start of 6th grade, or the start of 5th grade, or whatever. What were your feelings on that first day?
Can I make it up? Like me going.
You've always been here, haven't you?
Yeah.
Just write about like your first day of 6th grade.
First.
You guys had a big transition this year, moving into 6th grade.
what's that mean?
Like, it was all new.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that new because we were used to moving around too. Well, that was only 2 classes.
Now, yeah, you
Feel
move
like-
every hour of the day.
like 8 classes. We have 8 classes.
So write about that. And it doesn't just have to be about switching classes. It can be about,
I'm just writing about my first day of kindergarten.
there you go.
Kindergarten? How do you remember that? I am the memory of an elephant. They have good memory. Can we also write about what happened that day? If we met anything to do with friends?
Whatever your feelings were. Was it pretty nervous? Okay, when you're done with that, I will check those later and close them up, set them to the side. We are going to move into the book today. So, as I told you, we are going to approach the book different ways each day. Today is going to be a me reading to you day, okay? So we are going to go ahead and open up to part 1. Part 1.
Can't wait.
So, in Wonder, every couple chapters, we are going to get a new narrator.
So this one?
Uh,
Wait, what page is it?
Doesn't have a page number. Looks like a little bit.
It literally says part 1 on
Part 1.
Oh.
So we are going to start off with August, or Augie.
I cannot find whatever you want to call him. Oh, do we start on this page? This page.
the thing that says part 1.
Really, I just
Yes.
hit right over.
And we will move through different narrators throughout the book. So Wonder gets its name from a song by an artist named Natalie Merchant, who I remember from when I was a little kid, so back in the 90s. So these set of lyrics here kind of guide us through the book. So we'll start with the lyrics over here on the left side. Doctors have come from distant cities just to see me, stand over my bed, disbelieving what they're seeing. They say I must be one of the wonders of God's own creation, and as far as they can see, they can offer no explanation. Okay, so we're going to get into that, even today, about when Augie was born, and how he is a wonder. So a little bit more from that. Part 1. Fate smiled and destiny laughed as she came to my cradle. Okay, let's turn to ordinary, page 3. Make sure you just follow along with me. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream, I ride my bike, I play ball, I have an Xbox. Stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary, inside. But I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. If I found a magic lamp and I could have one wish, I would wish that I had a normal face that no one ever noticed at all. I would wish that I could walk down the street without people seeing me and then doing that look away thing. Here's what I think. The only reason I'm not ordinary is that no one else sees me that way. But I'm kind of used to how I look by now. I know how to pretend I don't see the faces people make. We've all gotten pretty good at that sort of thing. Me, Mom and Dad, Via. Actually, I take that back. Via's not so good at it. She can get really annoyed when people do something rude. Like, for instance, one time in the playground, some older kids made some noises. I don't even know what the noises were exactly because I didn't hear them myself. But Via heard, and she just started yelling at the kids. That's the way she is. I'm not that way. Via doesn't see me as ordinary. She says she does. But if I were ordinary, she wouldn't feel like she needs to protect me as much. And Mom and Dad don't see me as ordinary either. They see me as extraordinary. I think the only person in the world who realizes how ordinary I am is me. My name is August, by the way. I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. Why I didn't go to school. Next week, I start 5th grade. Since I've never been to a real school before, I'm pretty much totally and completely petrified. People think I haven't gone to school because of the way I look, but it's not that. It's because of all the surgeries I've had. 27 since I was born. The bigger ones happened before I was even 4 years old, so I don't remember those. But I've had 2 or 3 surgeries ever since then. Some big, some small. And because I'm little for my age, I have some other medical mysteries that doctors never really figured out. I used to get sick a lot. That's why my parents decided it was better if I didn't go to school. I'm much stronger now, though. The last surgery I had was 8 months ago, and I probably won't have to have any more for another couple of years. Mom homeschools me. She used to be a children's book illustrator, and she draws great fairies and mermaids. Her boy stuff isn't so hot, though. She once tried to draw me a Darth Vader, but it ended up looking like some weird mushroom-shaped robot. I haven't seen her draw anything in a long time. I think she's too busy taking care of me and Via. I can't say I always wanted to go to school because that wouldn't be exactly true. What I wanted was to go to school, but only if I could be like every other kid going to school. Have lots of friends, and hang out after school, and stuff like that. I have a few really good friends now. Christopher's my best friend, followed by Zachary and Alex. We've known each other since we were babies. And since they've always known me the way I am, they're used to me. When we were little, we used to have play dates all the time. But then Christopher moved to Bridgeport in Connecticut. That's more than an hour away from where I live in North River Heights, which is at the top tip of Manhattan. and Zachary and Alex started going to school. It's funny. Even though Christopher's the one who moved far away, I still see him more than I see Zachary and Alex. They have all these new friends now. If we bump into each other on the street, they're still nice to me, though. They always say hello. I have other friends, too, but not as good as Christopher and Zach and Alex were. For instance, Zach and Alex always invited me to their birthday parties when we were little, but Joel and Amon and Gabe never did. Emma invited me once, but I haven't seen her in a long time. And, of course, I always go to Christopher's birthday. Maybe I'm making too big a deal about birthday parties. All right, how I came to life. I like when Mom tells this story because it makes me laugh so much. It's not funny in the way a joke is funny, but when Mom tells it, Via and I start cracking up. So when I was in my mom's stomach, no one had any idea I would come out looking the way I look. Mom had had Via 4 years before, and that had been such a walk in the park, Mom's expression, that there was no reason to run any special tests. About 2 months before I was born, the doctors realized there was something wrong with my face, but they didn't think it was going to be bad. They told Mom and Dad I had a cleft palate and some other stuff going on. They called it small anomalies. There were 2 nurses in the delivery room the night I was born. One was very nice and sweet. The other one, Mom said, did not seem at all nice or sweet. She had very big arms, and here comes the funny part. She kept farting. Like she'd bring Mom some ice chips and then fart. She checked Mom's blood pressure and fart. Mom says it was unbelievable because the nurse never even said, "Excuse me." Meanwhile, Mom's regular doctor wasn't on duty that night, so Mom got stuck with this cranky kid doctor she and Dad nicknamed Duty after some old TV show or something. They didn't actually call him that to his face. But Mom says that even though everyone in the room was kind of grumpy, Dad kept making her laugh all night long. When I came out of Mom's stomach, she said the whole room got very quiet. Mom didn't even get a chance to look at me because the nice nurse immediately rushed me out of the room. Dad was in such a hurry to follow her that he dropped the video camera, which broke into a million pieces. And then Mom got very upset and tried to get out of bed to see where they were going. But the farting nurse put her very big arms on Mom to keep her down in bed. They were practically fighting because Mom was hysterical, and the farting nurse was yelling at her to stay calm. Then they both started screaming for the doctor. But guess what? He had fainted right on the floor. So when the farting nurse saw that he had fainted, she started pushing him with her foot to get him to wake up, yelling at him the whole time. "What kind of doctor are you? What kind of doctor are you? Get up! Get up!" And then all of a sudden, she let out the biggest, loudest, smelliest fart in the history of farts. Mom thinks it was actually the fart that finally woke the doctor up. Anyway, when Mom tells this story, she acts out all the parts, including the farting noises. And it is so, 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 so funny. Mom says the farting nurse turned out to be a very nice woman. She stayed with Mom the whole time, didn't leave her side even after Dad came back and the doctors told them how sick I was. Mom remembers exactly what the nurse whispered in her ear when the doctor told her I probably wouldn't live through the night. "Everyone born of God overcometh the world." And the next day, after I had lived through the night, it was that nurse who held Mom's hand and they brought her to meet me for the first time. Mom says by then they had told her all about me. She had been preparing herself for the seeing of me. But she says that when she looked down into my tiny, mushed up face for the first time, all she could see was how pretty my eyes were. Mom is beautiful, by the way, and Dad is handsome. Via is pretty, in case you were wondering. All right, last chapter. Christopher's house. I was really bummed when Christopher moved away 3 years ago. We were both around 7 then. We used to spend hours playing with our Star Wars action figures and dueling with our lightsabers. I missed that. Last spring, we drove over to Christopher's house in Bridgeport. Me and Christopher were looking for snacks in the kitchen, and I heard Mom talking to Lisa, Christopher's mom, about my going to school in the fall. I had never, ever heard her mention school before. "What are you talking about?" I said. Mom looked surprised, like she hadn't meant for me to hear that. "You should tell him what you've been thinking, Isabel," Dad said. He was on the other side of the living room talking to Christopher's dad. "We should talk about this later," said Mom. "No, I want to know what you're talking about," I answered. "Don't you think you're ready for school, Augie?" Mom said. "No," I said. "I don't either," said Dad. "Then that's it. Case closed," I said, shrugging. And I sat in her lap like I was a baby. I just think you need to learn more than I can teach you, Mom said. I mean, come on, Augie, you know how bad I am at fractions. What school? I said. I already felt like crying. Beecher Prep, right by us. Wow, that's a great school, Augie, said Lisa, patting my knee. Why not Venus School? I said. That's too big, Mom answered. I don't think that would be a good fit for you. I don't want to, I said. I admit, I made my voice sound a little babyish. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, Dad said, coming over and lifting me out of Mom's lap. He carried me over to sit on his lap on the other side of the sofa. We won't make you do anything you don't want to do. But it would be good for him, Nate, Mom said. Not if he doesn't want to, answered Dad, looking at me. Not if he's not ready. I saw Mom look at Lisa, who reached over and squeezed her hand. You guys will figure it out, she said to Mom. You always have. Let's just talk about it later, said Mom. I could tell she and Dad were going to get in a fight about it. I wanted Dad to win the fight, though a part of me knew Mom was right. And the truth is, she really was terrible at Prac. Okay, so last thing I need you guys to do, I have some questions over what we just read. Okay, 10 questions.
I don't know why,
So-
but I feel kind of tired.
I want to see what you got out of that. When you are done, you can hold it up and I will come get it from you.